You and me, hanging from the willow tree, quietly drifting in the open breeze. Suddenly, the wind blows you away from me. Now I see we were never meant to be. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the dawn. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the dawn. Born from the same branch and leaves, wild and free, living here in harmony. Don't you see? This is where you want to be. But when you leave, the world is never what it seems. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the dawn. If only we could travel back in time. Whoa, right where we belong. Maybe we'll never need a reason why. Whoa, dancing till the dawn.
Interstellar night space, no one else sees. In the underground, we're living low key. Can give you peace here in your mind. And as I found no place in the dead of night to come alive. Life is waiting on the other side. Follow me into the underground. Watch the world changing as the sun goes down. Follow me into the underground. Follow me into the underground. everything that brought me alive. Going around like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. Took my hands without an alibi. Smoking gun, you got me on the run. We know that will come. We're out up till dawn, but how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. Took my hands. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going around like monsters, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. Took my hands without an alibi.
So what is up, beautiful people? Once again, the flight path is on. Right in front of you is Vikendi, none other than Vikendi, one of my favorite maps. Completely white, it is snowy white. The planes are looking beautiful, and so is the flight path. A very similar flight path which we got to see yesterday. This is also drifting towards the western side of the map. Definitely not a flight path which a lot of teams will favor, but also one of the flight paths which can also lead to a lot of early fights. To be honest, I'm not really sure if a lot of teams will be able to get to their drop locations, but definitely something which I have seen is that there is definitely not a pattern in between teams landing in different areas. I guess teams land in whichever possible or whichever suitable drop location which they find it to be, and it is always really variable for the teams to be changing their drop location. Definitely it is not suitable, but I mean the pattern over the past couple of years. And right now, as you can see, this is 1MS Skull who has already got one particular knock, so the first blood has been drawn out here already. But definitely what I was talking about is that the fight is actually going on in Kricha, so definitely something which we would like to look on to. But continuing, what I was talking about is that this particular flight path actually causes a lot of people to take those early rotations, find a vehicle and get to their suitable drop locations. But what I've seen over the past couple of weeks or months of casting is that during the scrims, teams do not really, okay, so fisting is going on at this point. This is 4F Gaudy OP. It was, I guess, Gaudy OP who actually got really I would say humiliated over here, and I 1MS Skull showing just no mercy out of nowhere. This is Miracle CE once again who got the better of Bait Ninja. Ninja has been taken down and out, and once again this is Seeking who has actually got another knock for himself as well. Talking about the map itself and the zone, I mean, why did this even change? So definitely we will be moving on. But as you can see, Bait Ninja, this is a player from team number 13. He has lost his life once again very early on in this match. Casualties coming in all around from different parts of the map. Very early these are very early minutes of the game itself. And with that being said, if we talk about the zone, a very typical zone offered by Vikendi. I mean, I haven't really been favorable. I haven't seen a very centralized zone in Vikendi for over years. Right now, I guess it is very typical of Vikendi right now to kind of provide those water zones. But what on earth is this? I mean, come on, tell me something about this. 50% of the zone is on the water itself, and that means that a lot of teams will have not a lot of ground space to hold, to camp, or to fight. And definitely that means that teams will have to come very close together, even in the first stage. I mean, have a look at the rotations which teams in the southern side of the map will have to undertake. I mean, this is a very northwestern zone that has formed, and right away team number 15 has really dominated. Team number 9, that is team GR, probably, I'm not really sure which particular team this is. This is team GR, by the way, and team GR has actually moved out from this particular location after suffering 2 casualties already. That is Rusty's and Gaudy OP. Both of them have been taken down and out by team 1MS. Very early kills coming in from them once again, and team number 9 has taken the right decision to move out from this location and occupy different positions. With that being said, this is AESBL Fragger once again who got the better of one particular player from Ultra, and definitely something which I would like to talk about is that how the teams will have to rotate, because there is a lot going on. This is BL Fragger who has actually been taken down after that initial knock, so I will be actually wanting to look at this particular fight. Definitely I do not know which slot which they are occupying. Definitely this was Fragger who actually got knocked out. Fragger has been taken down by, this was Myth Zod OP. This is Cyber 2 OP who got another kill. This is BSUD Jestro OP. Is this Jestro? I'm not really sure how do you pronounce that, but definitely team number 6 is having the disadvantageous position at the moment, and they have actually taken down one particular player. This is Myth Zod 2 OP once again who has been brought down. AESBL E2, he's in a very good position, and he was actually one of the players who got down this entire team. I guess they have actually been taken down. So team number 6, the last player, team number 6 has survived on this. I mean, this was really great. I mean, the fact that team number 6 did survive on this particular occasion, it was just brilliant. It was great positioning coming in from AESBL E2, I guess. The fact that he kind of held that higher position and then jumped in right at the time when he can actually capitalize on that particular fight. With that being said, 2 players have been taken down in the form of BL Fragger and another player that is the players' names are really confusing. Okay, so this is Bornstar. Okay, so this is AESBL Bornstar who is still surviving, and E2 is still surviving. But apart from that, Jestro OP, I'm not really sure how do you pronounce that, but Fragger and this particular player from BSUD, so both of them have been taken down. Very initial knocks and blows coming in for team number 6. Definitely something which they haven't planned, but once again they will have to play the remaining part of the match with this particular team itself. They are already 2-man down. Definitely makes things difficult for them. But once again, looking at the location, if you actually get the location of this particular team, they are in Volnova at the moment, and definitely that means that they will have to rotate a lot. I mean, in terms of the zone itself, most of the team will have to rotate a lot, and this particular zone is actually showing no mercy to the teams itself, and definitely not a zone which no team would actually favor such particular zone. But definitely in near port there is probably a fight which will undertake, and in between team number 10 and team number 25, I believe team FM and team I guess it is Bilivin in the form of team 25, the fight looks to be very imminent at this point, and definitely I guess no one has taken up a first initial steps to kind of brawl up that particular fight. So that is something which we will have to look out for. Once again, if you have a look at the live chat, then nothing really coming in, not a lot of viewers as well, but definitely I guess a lot of people will join in as the match progresses. They already have a flare drop, so that is something which I would like to see what is there, but definitely it won't really be useful, because having a look at the position, they do have an MK14 and an AUG inside this particular flare drop, and I mean the entire thing goes to waste. I don't think that any nade or anything will actually be able to kind of bring this particular drop down. It is just it is utterly impossible to kind of bring this drop down, and I mean it is pure bad luck for whichever team whichever team has called for it. So with that being said, team number 25, team number 10, all of them are actually trying to delay this particular fight, but this is Neon who has drawn the first blood in this particular fight itself. I guess he has got the better of Immortal. Immortal has been knocked down. Team number 25 did suffer the first blow, and keep in mind one thing, team number 25, that is team Believe In, they are already a 3-man squad, and something which really works in the favor of team 10 is that they do have a flanker in the form of Neon, and Neon was the one who actually got the better of Immortal. This is Believe In KT probably, and KT has actually used the smokes to kind of prevent him from getting taken down, but this is Mazank, I guess it is Mayank, and Mayank has actually been taken down. And this is the first reaction coming in from team number 25. They have reacted well. One knock for its one knock, trading for another, and once again the revive will be easy for both of the sides, and definitely a fight to reckon with. I mean, team number 25 in the form of this is Believe In Alpha FTW, I guess. Yes, this is Believe In Alpha FTW, and this is Believe In Immortal and KT. So this particular team, definitely I do have high expectations from them. But team number 10, just have a look at their positioning. I guess team number 10 is probably having the upper hand in this particular fight. All of them have advantageous positions. The shots are being fired. The first knock came in the form of Immortal. The second knock came in the form of Mayank. Both of the players have actually been revived. None of the teams could actually capitalize on those initial knocks, if you actually talk about that in that particular scenario. KT and Neon were the players who actually dealt those first blows for either sides. And once again, the fight will actually take long, because I mean, each and every one of them, this is basically that particular moment. If you talk about UFC, if you talk about WWE, we always see that these warriors come together, they just stare in their eyes, that particular moment of glare, when you kind of find these warriors kind of staring down at each other, kind of intimidating each other as well. So that is something which is this particular phase at the moment. No one is actually taking a step, and meanwhile this is Bonstar who has got the better of Rangers. So team AES is nowhere to go. I guess this particular team has taken up the job of wiping down one after the other. They are already having 5 kills. Bonstar is at very low health at the moment, and definitely he needs to heal himself up. But the fact that they have got another particular kill on the way, during their travel on that particular Zima, that was something which was great. I do not really know if they had stopped in the way and got that particular kill, but definitely that was a very important addition in terms of their kill points. So something which they would actually treasure for themselves. With that being said, if you have a look at the map once again, the zone is definitely not showing any sort of mercy whatsoever, and once again the rotations are going to be real difficult on this. And team number 6, this is team number 6, team AES, once again they have set out on their venture towards the zone itself. I think they will find a lot of zones, because if you talk about the white zone itself, and once again KT has been brought down, so another shots being fired at by team number 10. Once again that particular fight looks to be real intimidating. Team 1MS is once again taking on the fight against another team. Meanwhile team 1MS already had lost Seeking, and that was something which was really surprising, because Seeking was the one who already had one particular kill. El Diablo got one out of the knock itself, and once again, as you can see, the spray is coming in the form of I1MS's Scammer. Once again, Scammer probably got a knock, I'm not really sure, but it was Hunter. Okay, so Hunter's arm shot really did the damage out here, and once again he is going to use that snowmobile to get inside and rush in onto this particular compound. Team number 15, that is team 1MS, looks very confident at this point, and definitely it is going to be a good move. I'm not really sure if it is really going to be a very great move, if Scammer can actually capitalize on this particular position, and as you can see they did, and once again they have hunted down team GR. So the team which was actually moving out from that particular fight initially, team 1MS and GR were taking the fight early on, but once again team GR had made the wise choice to kind of move out from that particular location. But definitely team 1MS was nowhere to go. They just found out team GR and hunted them down once again. It has been a beautiful fight which we got to see, but definitely another fight which I would like to see is team number 25, because definitely they have lost KT. However, they do have one kill in the form of I guess one particular player from FM. I'm really surprised that what is the situation up front. I guess there is another team in the mix at this point, and meanwhile this is Believe In's Alpha FTW who has been brought down. This is MYSTIC7 Voltex who is actually taking on the shots, who who is actually calling on the shots. Team number 4 has gotten involved in this particular fight itself. Neon is still surviving for his team, Team FM once again. I'm not really sure if he's the last player, but definitely it seems to be he's the last player. But once again, as you can see, only one player has actually suffered casualty in the form of Gunda. So Gunda has been taken down as well. Neon is the one who is in the midst of all that particular fight going on. With that being said, I'm really surprised that he's still surviving at this point, and definitely he needs to make a move. And once again, there are 3 teams in the mix right now. Believing is surviving with 1 man, but definitely Neon looks to be at endangered at the moment. And meanwhile, AES's BLE2, he has actually been taken down, and definitely that actually means that Team AES might get wiped out. The nades are coming in towards Neon. Neon has to still hold on. This is real critical position for Neon. I'm not really sure how much he's going to survive. Immortal is going to try and pick off another kill before he kind of moves out from this particular location. There is team number 4 who is trying their level best to get the better of this particular team itself. Team number 4 is actually looking for kills out here. If you talk about Top Notch has guessed Neon's positioning, but meanwhile Top Notch is taking in the shots. Brilliant cover fire coming in from FM's headshot. Once again, headshot has taken down Top Notch as well. With that being said, I guess this is great gameplay coming in from Team FM. The fact, the way they are actually covering up for each other, they are actually covering up all those angles for each other. That is actually brilliant. This is some gameplay which we want to see, and that is something which is really essential when you talk about battle royale gameplays, especially when you talk about PUBG. With that being said, I guess Headshot is actually moving towards MYSTIC7 Voltex, and once again I'm not really sure if this particular player from MYSTIC7, if he will be able to spot Headshot, but Headshot is taking a very wild move at this moment, and definitely I'm not really sure how long Headshot will be able to survive. He does have one player very right in front of him, and he has spotted him, but Headshot just survived. That was brilliant reflexes coming in from him as well. That particular prone, if he had kind of missed that particular shot, I guess he would have been down and out. With that being said, I guess he will have to recede from this particular location. The nades are coming in. Definitely MYSTIC7 will try to take this particular player down in the form of FM headshot. The Uzi is out once again. If he is able to strike with this god gun, then I guess it is all down and out for this particular player, Voltex. With that being said, I'm really excited for this particular fight. Meanwhile, this is RSS Dead OP who has got another particular player itself. This is Headshot rather. This is Headshot from FN. He is actually trying out a different rotation at this point because he has actually spotted down that particular player from MYSTIC7, and that was I guess Voltex. And definitely the fight between Headshot and Voltex, that got kind of delayed at this moment, and RS is actually being very heavy on Team Colt at the moment. I guess Aesthetic was already down very early on in this match. I'm not really sure, but I feel that was the case. But right now, as you can see, this is Falcon who has been taken down as well. Team RS is actually in taking up one knock after the other. Meanwhile, this is Curve OP who has got the better of ORCR in OP, if I'm not pronouncing the name wrong. With that being said, Headshot and the fight between team number 4 and team number 10 looks to be very eminent at this point. It is really intriguing, but once again, the teams are not really trying to make a hasty move out of at this position. And team number 4, this is MYSTIC7 Voltex. Once again, Voltex is kind of, I guess, out of patience at this moment. That was a really great molly, but definitely I'm not really sure if that would actually connect. But this team already has one kill, I guess, in the form of Team FM, and that is something which it looks to me. But the zone is out here. Definitely it will favor, but once again, the second zone, it is also showing no mercy whatsoever. The zones in Vikendi, are they always like this? I'm not really sure, but definitely it needs some changes, because every time Vikendi comes up, I guess the fact that there will be an edge of the map zone, it has been eminent. It has become a very regular phenomena. Something which should be kind of a very rare one has become so regular that we expect a zone where almost 50% of it will be water itself. And meanwhile, Team RS is actually taking on a Team Colt, and they are being very heavy on them as well. Aesthetic has been brought down. Aesthetic has been completely confirmed. Team RS is reaping blood at the moment. They already have 8 kills. That actually means that a lot of kills coming in from this particular team. Curve OP has been brought down, which was none other than El Diablo from Team OFFICALS Esports. Meanwhile, this is AKD OP, and once again will he be able to catch out this particular player from team number 10, or was it I guess 11? But once again, that particular G36C and 6x spray didn't really connect. Once again, I'm really surprised that he didn't really inflict any such damage out there. But once again, this particular team still surviving with 3 man, are still surviving with 3 man strong, and the fact that they already have 8 kills is really going to help them when actually go on to that early stage, later stage of the game. Meanwhile, this is team FN. Once again, they are taking in a lot of shots at the moment. Headshot has been brought down and completely taken down as well from this game. And once again, Neon and Mayank still surviving. Immortal has been brought down. Team number 4 is really dominating in this particular position, I would say. Team number 4 is racking up the kills. I guess first it was in the form of FM Gunda. I'm not really sure if it was Believe In or if it was this particular team number 4, but definitely FM Gunda was taken down first, and right now it was in the form of Believe In Immortal. And Immortal, I guess, before getting eliminated, I guess he was the one who actually took down Headshot. So that was a very valuable kill coming in from team Believe In as well. If I actually talk about the live stream, this is Ritvik Singh. He says, bro, will you cast for my scrims? Definitely, brother. You can contact the Wizard or you can contact me. My Instagram handle is given down below, so you can get in touch with me. If I mean, we will have a chat in that particular but with that being said, this is Jointy who has burned himself up with a Molotov. I don't really know what that was for, but this is team number 4. Once again, they do have a very great skin in the form of this particular Dacia. I do not really know what you call that, but definitely what I know is that Dead OP is back with his sniping once again. He does have that M24 and he is reaping blood at the moment. He wants those heads connected. He wants to connect those heads once again, and he actually got one already. I'm not really sure if he will get that particular kill, but definitely by the looks of their positioning, I guess they are trying to kind of rush in on that particular knock itself. Definitely Dead OP will try to secure his kill. Definitely they would want to get the better of this particular team itself. They already have 8 kills, and that is something which is great. Once again, Vikendi is showing us its true colors once again. Not only this particular map just covered with white and covered with white snow, I guess the fact that all elements of PUBG Mobile is available on this map, each and every aspect of it. You talk about sniping, you talk about rushes, you talk about different sorts of gameplay, you talk about ridge gameplay, you talk about compound gameplay. Every aspect of PUBG Mobile is available on this map itself, and that is something which I refer to by Vikendi is showing its true colors. Definitely the map is snow covered. The white snow covered terrains definitely look beautiful especially when it's sunny out here. But once again, it's not just white, definitely it has all elements of it. And once again, I guess right in front there is AKD OP, and AKD OP right in front of AKD OP there is team number 11. Team Oxygen Esports will look to kind of dominate on this particular scenario. But once again, I'm not really sure how many players are remaining for them. By the looks of it, El Diablo has really conquered on his opponents at this moment. This is El Diablo with 3 kills, but apart from that, Sook is still surviving, and Sook once again is probably the only player apart from El Diablo who is really surviving. So okay, I did not really know about this particular fact. Team Oxygen Esports is actually playing a duo with squad at this moment, so that means that they are already at the back foot very early on in this game itself, and once again they are still surviving. They do have 3 very important kills which shall be very helpful already. This is 1MS Skull who has been brought down, and definitely that was something which was really shocking to me. 1MS Skull has been not only knocked down, he has been completely wiped out, eliminated from this match itself. This is team number 11 on another wise call coming in from this particular team. They are moving out from this particular location, and that actually means that a very wise call coming in, because they do not have that particular numbers advantage, and they will have to play a very safe gameplay, and you actually do not really expect to kind of perform a clutch in each and every fight you kind of take on. So definitely a very wise decision would be to kind of fall back and go for those ending zones, because definitely once you get that great position in the last zone, especially when it comes to Vikendi, you can take those covers behind those rocks, you can take cover behind those trees, and coupled with your cars and vehicles, whatever it is. I guess if you are able to get a very good position in Vikendi in the ending circle, I guess you will be able to kind of take down a lot of kills, and that is something which I would want this particular team to do. Definitely 9 teams remain. That actually means that we also have a lot of action remaining in this match itself, and 24 players. Meanwhile, if you have a look at the zone, so thank God, I mean for God's sake, the zone has actually receded from the water area. Not a lot of teams are already inside the zone. Team 11, that is team Oxygen Esports, they are just outside this particular location. Meanwhile, team number 4 has been completely wiped down. This was none other than team RD. I'm not really sure. Okay, so team RD was the one who actually got the better of this particular team. Team number 4 has been knocked out. That particular knockout blow was provided. Meanwhile, team FTB is doing the remaining damage. Team 1MS is being taken down like a pack of cards. This is a house of cards once again, and right up here, as you can see, this is FTB. I guess they have taken down 1MS, that particular team, successfully. Meanwhile, they do have another enemy right up front in the form of team number 3. I know you're really suffering, you're really watching a very choppy gameplay, but definitely this is a part of Vikendi. Emulators just crash when the teams comes close together, and that is something which I have started to live with. Definitely this is Hunter OP, and he has never been habituated to kind of live like that. Once again, Hunter OP suffering that particular arm shot coming in from team number, I guess team number 19. It was one particular player from team INF, so definitely a very crucial blow for this team as well. Hunter OP did survive on that particular location. He has to take in his helmets and everything and get back on his feet. That was a very heavy blow for him as well. Team number 19, meanwhile, if we talk about them, they do not have any particular kill as of now, but another player who actually has that sniper, his RSS Dead OP, and Dead OP is really going for those heads once again. Dead OP is striking those heads and getting those knocks out. He already has in the 3 kills, but he has been taken down by Oxygen Esports, El Diablo. I am really excited to see this particular fight because El Diablo has been in red hot form at the moment. He is just taking down one player after the other. Brilliant strategies, brilliant use of utilities once again. Team number 3 will have to actually watch out for this particular player. El Diablo, buddy, you have been reaping blood at the moment. Definitely, I guess this is Weekend XD who has been taken down by that particular Molotov. I did not really see from which particular player was it coming, but El Diablo, he is actually going for team 23 at the moment. PNF Wolfie has been brought down. What a beautiful spray was that. Once again, I'm not really sure where is actually Suk, but because if I actually want to see his positioning, he's not really providing any particular support to his player. What he is actually doing is trying to kind of provide a different angle, trying to make that particular fight a bit dynamic so that El Diablo does get some certain amount of cover fire, as well as no one really gets that particular angle on El Diablo up front. With that being said, if you actually talk about the amount of teams remaining, we do have 6 teams remaining in this particular match itself, 17 players alive, and that actually means that we are in for an action right out here. Suk is really out in the open, and he needs to find a very suitable positioning. That was something which I was talking about very early on in this match itself, because I guess the most important aspect about Vikendi is that even if you are not having that particular numbers advantage, that was something which was really visible out here. El Diablo has been taken down. Team number 12 really counting on that particular numbers advantage which they have. A 3v1 right up front. I guess El Diablo had just no chance out there. With that being said, Suk will have a lot of job in hand. I guess he will want to move out from this particular location by using that snowmobile, but definitely I do not know what his plans are, and something which I would like to see is that how he kind of handles this particular team, that is FTV right up front. Meanwhile, El Diablo has been taken down and out. So with that being said, I guess he's the only player who is remaining for team number 11. Another only player who is remaining for team number 10 is that team FM's Neon. So the fact that this particular player survived on that particular occasion, I guess, is really credible. Once again, another team who is really going very strong is team RD. Once again, they are trying to inflict as many kills as possible, because as you can see, they already have that advantage. They already have that advantage of the numbers itself, and having all these players alive in the ending circle, that actually means that this particular team will be able to conquer on whichever team comes right in front of them. Meanwhile, the team who is actually suffering at this point is team 19, none other than team 19. Team IFM Team INF, pardon me for that, I've seen INF, and then Molotov really connecting, but definitely what is connected is INF strikers spray, which got down this particular player in the form of Senior. Once again, Team INF is in very big trouble at this point. Striker has been taken down. Caliber is the only player who is still surviving, and the zone is coming in as well. I'm not really sure how long will this particular player be able to survive, but that was a nade. That was not just a single nade, I guess that was a nade and a half, because it got the better of both Caliber as well as Striker. With that being said, Team INF has been just wiped off from this particular entire map itself, and definitely Team RD is showing their colors of domination at this point, and I really wish that this particular team can actually continue this run of form. Once again, OFFICALS Esports Sook has actually been brought down by the play zone itself. Meanwhile, 4 teams are alive at this point, and as you can see, FTB is really surviving with 3-man strong. Miracle is this is not Miracle, this is CE once again. CE is surviving with 3-man strong as well, so that actually gives us with a lot of action left. We do have an average of 3-4 players per squad, so that actually means that we are in for some fireworks at this point, and a lot of kills to kind of deal with. Once again, this is RD once again very confident in their steps, very confident in their gameplay at the moment. They do know that they have the upper hand, they have the greater compounds, they have the greater advantage of the zone itself, and definitely what they do have is eminent covers, and that is something which is going to change the entire perspective of this game itself. And team number 23, a team which actually has to move in a lot, but once again, team number 23 cannot really hold on. They have that advantage of the zone itself, but they do not have optimum cover. Meanwhile, as you can see, this is team number 8, and once again, this is Magic who is taking on that particular spray, not really connecting on top of FTB Hunter. But meanwhile, a lot of action happening in the form of this is C who is taking down FM's Neon. FTB Hunter has been taken down by the vehicle explosion. I do not know who is racking up the kills on whom, but meanwhile, team number 23, that particular spray should have really connected. It was really close, but once again, Magic is taking in shots from team number 12. 3 teams left, 10 players still alive, 4v4v2 situation up front. FTB, I guess it was one particular player, Deminos, probably, if I'm not wrong, he has been taken down by the play zone itself. Team number 12 in a very critical position at the moment, but meanwhile, I guess he will be able to get the better of. Yes, Mayuk has been spotted, Mayuk has been brought down. Team number 23, team number 8, this is a fight which you want to see. Once again, Mazik is really racking up the kills at the moment. What beautiful sprays coming in from him. That 6x M416 is really doing a lot of damage. He has already racked up a lot of kills in the ending stages, but definitely the team who actually got the chicken dinner was team RD, very deservedly so. Just have a look at their kills, just have a look at their stats. 15 kill chicken dinner, and they have just wreaked havoc in the ending circle. My word, oh word, I guess this was something which I really expected. Honestly, I didn't really expect any particular team to give them a lot of competition in the ending stages. Well, there were 2 reasons for this. I mean, they were outside the zone, yes, definitely, but they had that high range cover, they had optimum amount of cover, they were so confident in their steps because of that particular advantage which they got, number 1. And number 2 would be the fact that they were so dominant. Why were they so dominant? Because they had all the players alive. The fact that they were taking down squad after squad is because of that particular fact which I was talking about with Kendi. You always have to, get your 4 players alive in the ending circle, try and get those upper hand positions, and you can easily rack up the kills. Team RD, if you remember, just 4 minutes ago, I guess, even before the second or the third last zone, Team RD had only 5 or 4 kills, and right at the end of the match, they came up with guns blazing, with colors blowing each and everywhere. They have 15 kills, and that was something because of the fact that they were just racking up 1 kill after the other. The players were taking in damage from the play zone, players were taking in damage from the enemies as well, but what actually counted was Team RD was spread out. They had the greater positions, and that is the reason why they were just racking up the kills, and they were chopping off the kills from one particular area. They were taking up the kills and killing off knocked players from another particular area. We saw how actually Mazik had taken the advantage of the play zone. The players were actually taking damage from the play zone itself. Very specifically, I was talking about Team FTB's Mayuk. Mayuk was taking damage from the play zone itself, and this particular player Mazik, he actually kind of capitalized on that particular position. He got the better of Mayuk, and that is how actually Team RD racked up their kills. And a 15 kill chicken dinner is just crazy. I mean, in a T1 scrims you did not generally see. Senior once again came up with 6 kills. This particular player has just wreaked havoc on this map itself. He was the Grim Reaper, the Death God, and once again with 6 kills, I guess this particular player will be not only the MVP of the match but also the top fragger itself. With that being said, taking nothing away from team number 2, Team CE played brilliantly. I guess Miracle CE, Mafia 2 OP, and Edge Shot with 4 kills. The second position, I guess they have played considerably well, comparing to their past performances. Team FTB once again came up with a lot of kills, 6 kills coming in from them. Third position, not a bad performance either. Team FM once again, they were looking actually very dominant in the initial stage of the match when they were actually fighting against Team Believin. They were the ones who were actually calling in the shots in that particular fight, but after that they couldn't really just capitalize. Team number 4 came in from nowhere and got the better of this particular team, and that was something which was really one of the highlight moments, I guess. The fact that Team FM lost their track halfway because of that particular third party. Neon still surviving on that particular occasion. Neon brought his team to that particular 4th position. So kudos to him for that once again. El Diablo really showed his true potential in this particular match itself. Oxygen Esports, El Diablo is one of my favorite players I would talk about, and so could really provide him optimum support in this particular match itself. But once again, you cannot really expect a lot from a 2v squad, can you? I mean, a 5th position, 4 kills, not a bad performance at all. And especially talking about Team INF once again, couldn't really capitalize on their position in the ending stages. I guess they do have the 6th spot, but once again the kills department is completely empty, and that is something which really strikes me. Team RS, another team which actually was really dominating in the initial stages, 8 kills coming in from them. 7th position, a very good performance coming in from this squad. Team 1MS, another team who I was actually kind of backing to get that particular top 3, top 4 spots, couldn't really capitalize on that particular I would say initial buff which they got after wiping out squads. And 1MS, I guess, Skull once again came up with 2 kills, Seeking with 1 and Hunter with 1, but I guess they were taken down fairly easily, and only probably 1 or 2 players were surviving in the ending stages. They do have that particular 8th position, they do have 4 kills, but I guess they could have done much better in both of the aspects. With that being said, if we talk about Team Mystic once again with 2 kills, 9th position, can do better than an average performance in either of the departments, both in if we talk about placements and also in terms of kills as well. This is Team Bait once again, 0 kill, 10th position, nothing special probably coming in from the bottom half of the table. One particular team which I would actually look out for is Team Cold. Team Cold was kind of taking in a lot of damage. We saw their names come up a lot of times in the kill feed, and definitely I guess they were, that particular fight really lasted long and couldn't really bring up a lot from that particular location. Falcon came up with 2 kills, but apart from that, the entire, I guess, a static Margin Boo and Aryak, none of them actually got underway in this particular match. All of them had 0 kills. So with that being said, the 12th position, I guess Team Colt is much better than that, and that is something which I'm really hoping for. Team Colt can actually make a comeback in the next game itself, and that is something which I'll be looking out for as well. Team AESBL, this particular team, another team who was actually going very strong in the initial stages. They had lost 2 players very early on, but definitely the way E2 was actually capitalizing on location to location. He was actually going, he was using the topography of the map really well. We actually saw the fight where he was holding on a very high location and then really capitalized on that particular opportunity. When he saw that the players were actually getting knocked out, he jumped in from that particular location and just with one spray he got the entire team wipe out. So that was something which was really good. I guess he has 4 kills, and that is something which reflects how well he has played. But once again, I guess the overall team performance not really coming in from this team number 14, but something which I would like to see from them is a very coordinated team game coming in from this team as well in the next match itself. With that being said, if we move downwards, nothing really special. All of them were victims of early game fights. Another I would say drawback for really taking on those hot drops, really taking on those not really, I would say, studying the drop locations, and that was something which was really resulting their death. And with that being said, we come to the end of the first match of W4RSHOT Esports. I will actually take a look at the live chat very soon. So till then, I mean, if you have any doubts, any questions regarding the match itself, regarding my casting, anything, you can actually shoot them on the live chat. And apart from that, we will be back with the next match very soon. So till then, goodbye and happy musics.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head because there are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, now I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, now I'll find you in my dreams. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver fights and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. I hate all this overthinking. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver, no more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar, bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Oh no,
I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. Too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
So what is up, everybody? I mean, thanks a lot for the to those who have actually stayed and are watching this stream live still now. We are back with the second game from the snow-covered terrains of Vikendi. We are back to the lush green fields, the eternal home of PUBG Mobile, Erangel. This is it, guys, and once again, if you have a look at the flight path, by the looks of it, I guess it will end at Lipovka. It does go towards Lipovka, but definitely I'm very wrong. It kind of goes towards from the in the center of Primox and military base to the center of Yasnaya and Lipovka. It is definitely a flight path which goes towards the center of the zone, towards center of the map rather. But once again, I guess not a lot of teams will actually be able to get to their drop locations, because Miramar, unlike Vikendi, is a much larger map. Once again, a lot of teams have actually taken their drop locations. I believe there might be a lot of hot drop fights. Military base, I guess, might be occupied by 2 or more teams. Novo will probably be a drop location. I'm not really sure, but by the looks of it, no such team have actually taken their drop for Novo. It is to be seen if that actually happens. But once again, 2 teams, as far as I can see, 2 teams have actually taken their drop towards the southern island. That is none other than Team Revenger and Team AESPL. So this is a fight which I actually will want to see. Team number 6 has actually taken a split drop outside military base. That is a very good drop location. I mean, we haven't really thought about it as a drop location over a period of time right now, and that is something which Team 6 is doing. So that is a real great drop location, I would say. Gatka is actually being occupied by 2 squads at the moment, I believe. Team number 15 is also there in Primox. There are probably 2 squads near Quarry. I'm not really sure if they will loot Quarry or will they be kind of looking for vehicles out there, because that is another big issue. Vehicles is once again a factor which will kind of haunt a lot of teams. Here Weekend XD has got the first blood in this match itself. He is the one who actually got that Uzi striking. Once again, he has taken down Myth Zod OP. So with that being said, Weekend is the one who actually got the first blood. FTB, this is Day most probably who has got the better of Cyber 2 OP. Meanwhile, the fight between Team 12 and Team number 3 is on. This is a very exciting fight which I would like to see, because Team FTB will look for some redemption after the last match. And out here, this is 1MS, I guess it was Capsule actually got the first blood for that particular team. Crossbows coming in once again. This is Headshot CE who has been taken down. Meanwhile, this is Team RS once again. Weekend XD is the player who actually got that first kill for this team. Not just the first kill for this team, but also the first kill in the map itself. With that being said, I guess we have an exceptional lobby. I guess it was around 70 odd players, but right now we are left with 67 players. This is Team RS once again who are charging in. Team 2 do have not just 2 but 3 teams in this particular location. RS Dead OP actually got that particular M16 striking. He has taken down FTB Dimos. Probably he has completely finished him up. With that being said, Miracle CE has been brought down by 1MS's Cyanide, and Dead OP is just taking down one player after the other. He has probably taken up 2 knocks for himself. I don't know how many knocks he has taken out, but once again, Dead OP is really using that particular M16 single shot to his great advantage. Weekend XD, meanwhile, he does have that Scar L. So team number 12 will have to look out for once again. Another team which should actually look out for is team number 18 once again. Ultra, I guess it is. I'm not really sure what are the names. So definitely I did not do my homework. I'm really a lazy kid in school. I was a lazy kid in school. I am a lazy kid in PUBG as well. This is Ultra Trixie X. So he is the one who has actually been taken down. He is on his knees at the moment, but Team Myth's Honey is still out there. FTB meanwhile has probably been reduced to 2 men at the moment. They have been kind of their backs have been broken at this moment, because I guess these 2 players, Hunter OP and Deimos, they are very crucial for this particular team. Pride and Mayuk, I'm not really sure how well will they kind of be able to kind of implement themselves, but once again, very early on in this match, and they are already a 2-man squad. They have lost 2 players once again. This is EMB's Papa who has actually been taken down by Warp Skull. So that is something which is really great. I guess I would want to see a good performance coming in from Warp as well. Meanwhile, EMB is a team, I guess they are occupying a very high slot in this match itself, and definitely it is to be seen once again. but this fight in Milta is something which is brewing up. I guess Team RS, this particular fight is all for RS to kind of conquer on. And right up front, this is what Weekend is doing. This is RD Senior who actually got the better of, I guess it was Levi OP, I'm not really sure, but this is Weekend once again. Weekend is trying to get the better of this particular player. Once again, I would love to kind of move on to some other place and kind of cover each and every fight which is taking on, but that is something which is really impossible for me, right? You actually know that, and definitely I cannot cover each and every fight which is going on simultaneously over the entire map itself. But Papa actually has been taken down by the fists, so the fists are also coming into play right now. But something which is coming into play as well is Dead OP's grenades. He has actually got the better of Myth Honey, and I guess he will be confirming that particular kill itself. And I do not really know, I guess it was AKD OP actually confirm that particular kill. And with that being said, I guess this particular team number 18 rather, they have been completely decimated in Milta by none other than Team RS. So RS is actually continuing their initial dose of domination. That is something which they always do. But another team which is in the mix right now is team number 12. So definitely FTV, Pride and Mayuk, probably they have moved out from this location. Milta is probably empty at this point, but I would like to look at their positioning once. So yes, they are definitely moving out of this particular location, and they would want to actually do that because Team RS, the kind of form they are in, I guess FTB do not have any particular chance to stand in front of them, especially when they are already at a numbers advantage, considering Team RS has 3 players and Team FTB has 2. With that being said, pardon me for that, but with that being said, I would like to see another particular fight which is going on at the moment. The map will be helping me, but once again, this is the first time I will be opening the map for the zone itself, so I would be watching the zone the first time. That is something which I would want to see. The zone is really beautiful, I would say, a very beautiful zone coming in from this particular team. But this is RD Alok is actually converting one particular kill after the other. RD Alok has 1 kill already. The fight is going on in Kameshki, a very unusual place to actually fight, but once again they have taken down another team. I'm not really sure which particular team is wiped out right here, but definitely I guess this particular I guess it was 4VL, it might be 4VL, it might be AVL, I do not really know how do you pronounce it, but definitely this is probably the team who has actually been taken down in Kameshki. Kameshki is not a place where you actually expect to kind of fight early on in this match, but that was something which we got to see. Very surprising, but once again not a very difficult rotation coming in from this particular team, I would say. But a lot of difficult rotations coming in from Georgopol, because I guess a lot of teams have actually taken to Georgopol at the moment, keeping in mind the kind of the flight path which was kind of going from the bottom of Pochinki towards Lipovka. I think the players who have actually taken to Georgopol are the ones who actually were brilliant, I guess. But meanwhile, FTB is actually implementing themselves in Milta at the moment. I guess Weekend XD is the one who has actually been taken down, and another player who will be taken down is FTB. Pride might get confirmed, and with that being said, Dead OP has got the better of Pride itself. Mayuk is still surviving for this team, and Mayuk is at very low health at the moment. I'm not really sure if he's going to survive the particular onslaught which is really coming in. Then one nade and he is just gone. Not just a nade, I guess any particular even a misfire will do at the moment, but he is using a medkit. He has healed himself up definitely, but once again he'll be taken down very easily. Team RS once again really kind of making themselves count out here. Weekend XD will get an easy revive once again. Oh my god, this is some weird angle coming in. This is a very weird angle, but definitely you don't want to look at that. Team Delta Scream has actually got the better of one particular player. That is something which I would like to see. Cold is making themselves count, and that is something which really pleases me at the moment. I guess I really want Team Cold to kind of make a comeback after that initial performance in the last game. But once again, this particular fight is going on. I believe this is Yasnaya, and once again the Molotovs coming in. Team number 16 is making themselves count against Team EMB once again. I'm not really sure how many players are still surviving for this particular team, but by the looks of it, 3 players are still surviving, because we saw EMB lose a particular player I guess very early on in this match itself. And right now Warp Skull and his teammate, they are actually charging towards this particular player from EMB. Once again they have actually spotted him. I guess it is going to be easy kill, and yes, that was an easy knock coming in from them. Once again, team number 16 Warp is actually racking up the kills at the moment. EMB has actually been broken at the moment. 2 kills already, I mean 2 casualties for them, for team EMB once again. not something which is really favorable in terms of if you consider a very early on in this match. Their performance, I guess, hasn't really been on top of the game at the moment. They are really splitted, they are really disintegrated. If you talk about Yasna, it is a very big location and you cannot really be splitted or cannot really take a disintegrated drop, especially when you actually have spotted another team with you in Yasnaya, and that is something which they did, and they did suffer that particular mishappening. With that being said, I guess the fact that Team 16 will actually look up to wrap up this team is something which is very eminent. Team EMB will have to kind of be on their toes at the moment, because the Team 16, they will be coming in. The Hounds are really coming in. They want to hunt them in groups, and that is something which Team number 16 has been doing really well. They are actually going in groups once again. They are trying to make sure that they do have the numbers advantage in each and every fight they do. I mean, you saw that particular fight between Skull and his teammate against that particular player from EMB, who actually got taken down on the roof of that particular apartment. That particular fight was a very good example of how well Team number 6 actually coordinates or bonds amongst its teammates, because that is something which is really important when you talk about battle royale, because especially the fact that they made a 1v1 fight a 1v2 situation up front, and that is something which they are trying to do out here as well, which should be a 2v2 or a 3v2. They are making it a 4v2 fight, and each and every player is coming in. They do know their positioning, and that is something which is great. But once again, EMB is really trying to hold their ground at the moment. This is Professor and this is Moin. So these two players, they are actually trying to kind of hold on to this particular fight, not give any footstep whatsoever. And once again, they do have good loot, and that is something which I would really praise them for. But once again, team number 6 does not have any clue whatsoever where team number 1 is, that is team EMB. But once again, this is Hammer, and Hammer does seem to have any particular idea where team number 1 is situated at the moment, and that is something which they would like to follow. Hammer will actually follow his teammates. Skull is in a very good position where he will be able to take down this particular, yes, he knows their positioning. He has got certain amount of footsteps. The nades are coming in now. The Hounds will be back in business. This particular nade will not connect. It was really close, but once again, it was not really a great nade coming in from Skull. But definitely something which might work greatly is the fact that their team efforts are really great, and team number 16 will try to rush in as a squad. They want to make this particular fight a 4v2 affair, and that is something which they will do. Once again, the nades have actually come in. Once again, will the first knock be inflicted? I'm not really sure. Yes, the reinforcements have come in. Skull trying to finish off this particular team, and definitely he was the one who actually did. Just have a look here. He has 4 kills. I mean, this particular player has been he has just been at his top-notch form, I would say, because the kind of form he is in, the kind of gameplay he is showing, I guess he is just really great at the moment. The kind of jiggle which he has shown in the ending stages of this particular fight, it was just outright brilliant. The fact that he managed to take down 2 players in just, I guess, 1 or 2 sprays, it was just outright brilliant. This is not classic, this is T1 Scrims, and the fact that he was able to do that was amazing. He did, I guess Team EMB managed to get one particular knock for this Team Warp, but once again, the way they recovered, the way they kind of reacted to that particular situation, it was smokes all around. There were 2 players who were splitted, and you know, the shots were coming in from different directions. The way kind of Skull incorporated in that particular situation was just outright brilliant, and he will get his required loot at this moment. And definitely AKM and M416, this is the loot of heavens, I guess. Thus this particular pair was actually made in the heavens rather, and that is something which he would like to utilize. And once again, he does have a lot of healings, 9 bandages, 4 first aid kits, 1 med kit, and 3, I guess it is painkillers, or I guess it might be energy drink, I do not really know. But with that being said, I guess 14 teams still left in this particular match, 41 players alive. I guess a lot of action is still left in this match itself. That is something which I'll be looking for. A great fight which you got to see in the form of Warp versus EMB. EMB has been taken down. Team number 16 surviving with 4-man strong. They did not suffer even 1 casualty itself. It was all out Skull who has actually made a mark against EMB. So a great gameplay coming to see very early on in this match from Yasnaya Poliana. So with that being said, I guess I will be having my regular stream check right now. We will be back very soon with the the following fights. Until then, once again, stay tuned and we will be back soon. Once again, we are back. We actually saw a lot of comments on the live stream. This is Sahil01. He says, "Naam hi nahi dikha raha bande ka, overlays hide kar raha hai." If you want, actually, I can actually hide the overlays. That will actually be better. So yes, definitely we are back. The names and everything, this is visible at this moment. This is Bait Ninja, and he's the only player from this team who is playing for Team Bait once again, and he already has 1 kill. So definitely that is great. I mean, a solo V squad in a T1 stream, he does have a lot of guts to kind of do that. But once again, I'm not really sure if he was unable to kind of catch up with his teammates on time in the lobby, or was he kind of, is he playing this particular match as a solo V squad itself. With that being said, he does have Team 11 right up front. He has actually spotted them, but sprays will actually be very dangerous at this moment. Definitely, I would like to look what is happening at this moment between Team 11, that is Team Oz, versus Team 10. I'm not really sure if they are actually fighting in. So yes, they are actually fighting in. The smokes are out. Team number 10 does have only 1 player left at this moment, and it was an easy kill. FM Neon has been taken down. It was all out. Team Oxygen Esports in this particular location. It was, I guess, only 1 player was there in the form of Team 10. I'm not really sure what kind of happened out here, but definitely okay. So Team 10 had 2 players. Neon was the only one who was surviving. Team Oxygen Esports just owned this particular player in this location itself, and definitely had no chance against a 1v3 situation. A team like Oxygen Esports will never actually kind of fall back in that location. With that being said, there is another team who is actually rotating in very close to the shore, and that is, I'm not really sure which particular team it is, but definitely I guess this is Team AES, but something which I'm not really sure about is the fact that whether they are on this shore or they are on the other side of it. Something something which I would like to see is that this particular team, this is RS1MS. Am I wrong? This is RS1MS or IMS. I'm not really sure what the information about the team is, but this is Evil once again who is going for that particular kill, I guess. This is Bonstar who has actually taken down one particular player from Oxygen Esports via that arm. So definitely that was a fight which I would like to see. Definitely that was the show gameplay which we got to see from Team AESPL. But once again, a lot of teams in this particular very short span of distance, of what I would say is that team number 3 is actually trying to get the better of this particular player. Cyanide has been taken down in the form of a kill. With that being said, RS a 1MS is really suffering at this point, and this is Herd, I guess, who got the better of one particular player. Meanwhile, Team RS is really suffering at this point. This is RS versus RS1MS, really confusing names, especially when you do not really have any particular information with the team information. With that being said, I guess with the fact that they already have 1 knock in the upper floor, I guess it should be a very easy kill coming in the form of Evil. But Evil is not really making any hasty move very early on in this match, so that is something which is really great. But team number 21 should actually try to get the better of him. Dead OP has actually been knocked out by the nade itself, and once again for the nades coming in, this particular player is at a very low health at the moment, and I guess AKT OP might get at a very dangerous situation at the moment. Evil, if he decides to go up, I guess it is just all out. It is just all over for him. That particular AKM and DP28, I'm not really sure what he is waiting for even, but once again AKT OP has healed himself up once again. This particular team, this is RS1MS, they are not really trying to make any hasty move out here. I will really appreciate that, but once again they are really taking this particular fight away from themselves. There is another team who is really close by, that is team number 13. Is it team number 13? Yes, it might be team number 13, but meanwhile I would like to see what is really brewing up at this point. So the players are actually have actually been revived. Team RS kind of got back to their feet once again, and that is something which will really favor them. A 2v3 fight which has been converted. It was almost the game for Team RS1MS. They definitely did not have any information regarding the health, but once again they should have some idea about the nade itself. I guess it was a very easy all-out attack on Team RS by Team RS1MS, but definitely they were really afraid to kind of take on that particular move, and that is something which I am not really sure why did they do that. And as you can see, Dead OP has got the first knock itself. With that being said, will he be able to get the second knock? Not really. This is Evil who actually got the better of Dead OP, and once again a 1v1 fight once again. I'm not really sure what is going to happen. AKT OP is still out, going for Evil once again. Will he be able to get the better of him once again? This has been a pure disaster of a gameplay coming in from RS1MS. Definitely not a T1 standard one. With that being said, I guess I don't really know what happened out there. I mean, I don't really want to talk bad about them, but definitely I don't really understand what was the strategy out there. It was such an easy squad wipe coming in from RS1MS. It should have been such an easy squad wipe, but definitely they just lost track of the entire thing itself. The nades were coming in, the nades were striking in, they were getting knocks one after the other, but they were just so afraid to kind of rush in onto that particular building, and they were just smoking around, they were lurking around in the bottom on the ground floor, and that just happened. I mean, team number 3, that is team RS, did not really suffer any particular casualty itself. It was a 2v3 fight which had been converted into a 1v3, and out of nowhere team RS comes back, kind of demolishes team RS1MS on their face, and just, it was a knockout blow, and it was a reality check. I guess this particular team does need some you know, they will have to talk amongst themselves and kind of discuss what were the things which actually went wrong. Meanwhile, team number 4, team number 11, both of them are really close together. I'm really excited about this particular fight itself, and once again, I'm not really sure if wait a minute, this is El Diablo, who has not really spotted this particular player from T15. He was actually almost taken down. I'm not really sure if he will be able to survive on this onslaught, but once again, El Diablo has been brought down, but support spray is coming in. Definitely a gameplay which I expect from Team Oxygen Esports. Team number 15, that particular player, I do not really, I have actually not noted what his name was, but definitely he was a great camper out there, and the fact that he was kind of almost invisible to El Diablo was actually great. He kind of tried to capture onto the best moment he had. He almost got the better of El Diablo. He actually got the better of El Diablo, but meanwhile, Team Oxygen Esports is not a team who would bow down so easily. Definitely they have they do not just have the name, but also they do have quality. But meanwhile, this is MYSTIC7 Voltex. MYSTIC7 Voltex was almost taken down by this particular team. Definitely a fight which I would like to see. This is the fight between Team 4 versus Team 11. Once again, a 3v3 fight rather. Top Notch has been taken down. The first blood has been drawn. It was none other than I guess O2's Sook. So with that being said, the fact that this entire team is actually so splitted out, I mean, I'm talking about team number 4, the fact that they are holding different compounds from different directions, I guess this fight really works against them. But once again, team number 6 has actually rushed in on them, and El Diablo has a job in hand right now. They have to take down team number 6 before actually proceeding towards team number 4 at the moment. I actually cannot see what the name of this team is. It might be 4VL. It is AESBL rather. And with that being said, the last player surviving for team number 6 is that particular player, Bornstar. And with that being said, will Bornstar be able to kind of get the better of his team? No, not really. El Diablo really coming to his team's rescue once again. I guess without El Diablo, the team O2 would actually have been done for in this particular fight. It was a great implementation of I would say third partying in this particular location. AESBL did all of the things team AESBL did in this particular situation. Everything was right, everything was top notch, but something which didn't really work is that their numbers game. And once again, team O2 just held on. And once again, I have actually talked about this team over a lot of the past couple of times right now, and definitely they have been just so brilliant. If you talk about their team coordination, if you talk about their communication, everything has been so top notch, and that is something which you always see in their particular gameplay. The zone is coming in. Definitely they will actually have to rotate towards zone itself. We do have requests for team number 22, so that is something which I would like to see. Revenge ER is a team whom I haven't really spectated. They are still surviving. They do have a very big vehicle in the form of a BRDM. What are they capable of at this point? I'm not really sure, but definitely they do have some plan in mind. They are taking in a lot of damage from the zone itself. They will have to rotate inside the zone, but once again, if you open the map, the entire things will be clear. This is almost the 5th or the 6th zone. I'm not really sure, but the zone has actually taken a hard shift. It is towards prison once again. The fight is going on between two squads. I'm not really sure which particular teams are they, but probably by the looks of it, it is Delta, and they are actually taking on a fight. Are they? I'm not really sure, but definitely the kill feed will be of great help at this point. So this is RS Dead OP. This particular team is not looking to kind of bow down at this point. Dead OP, just have a look at their kills. I mean, this particular team is just going lunatic at this moment. Have a look. 10 kills already, 9 kills shared between Dead OP and AKD OP. That was a team who actually got the better of RS1MS, but once again, they are actually going for a 4v2 fight right now. A 3v2 clutch wasn't really enough for them. Are they going for a 4v2, or will they kind of succumb to the brilliance of Team RD? I'm not really sure, but the nades are coming in. Team RS was the one who actually got the first opening. Definitely Team RD really capitalized on that particular, I would say, high reach advantage, on the particular advantage which they have. They do have better cover as compared to Team RS, and definitely that they capitalize on that, and they actually got the better I mean, they actually got their players revived, and definitely Team RD will look to have the upper hand in this particular fight. Dead OP is really looking to kind of capture onto this sniper tower. I'm not really sure how good a cover this is, but this particular fight looks to be very intimidating at the moment, because they are inside the zone, and definitely none of the teams would actually like to lose their players in this very ending stage, because this is the 5th zone. I mean, the ending circle is just a few minutes away, and definitely if you have held on till this particular point, you do not really want to lose your track at this moment. And definitely both the teams are doing the same things out here. If you actually have a look at Team RD right now, okay, so this is RS Dead OP. He does have that arm, but once again he is trying to take a better of El Diablo at the moment. El Diablo is not really exposing himself up, but he does probably, I'm not really sure, he might have the reach, but he might not. Meanwhile, Revenger is actually taking in the damage at the moment. Adi was probably the one who has actually been taken down. King OP does have that particular M249. They have looted a lot of flare guns, and they have actually called for a lot of them as well. The BRDM M249 suggests that they have good loot, and that is something which they would want to capitalize on. King OP, I'm not really sure what are his plans with the BRDM. Definitely something which I've seen in the past is that teams actually kind of get very clumsy when you actually talk about the BRDM or the gameplay with the BRDM when it is concerned. And as you can see, the BRDM has blown off, and the first knock coming in the form of God Guy. I'm not really sure if he will be able to get the better of him. I mean, I do not really want to cast right now. I mean, it was just a moment. It was just a moment ago when I say the teams actually look to be very clumsy with the BRDM. That is what is happening each and every time. The BRDM is as useless as the vehicle which was provided the last time out, and teams just don't really understand that. And once again, these are T1 scrims, definitely not a very amateur side. They have achievements, and yet I guess the BRDM meta hasn't really been solved. The myth with the BRDM hasn't really been solved. Meanwhile, another myth which hasn't really been solved is the fact that Team RS is just going so strong. And how are they? Dead OP has taken down another player. This particular team is just not giving any particular chance to Team RD. Once again, they have taken down 2 players, and I guess this particular player from Team RD will be taken down as well. What a great spray was it. Dead OP almost got the better of this particular player, and meanwhile the last player is still surviving. I guess this is it for Team RD. I'm not really sure, but this is all out attack. This is all out onslaught in Team RS, by Team RS rather, but this is RD who has actually been taken down. One particular player has been taken down by O2. So that means that Oxygen Esports is in the mix right now, but definitely that was it. I guess it was Oxygen Esports who actually capitalized on the particular fight. They have taken down both the teams right out there. And with that being said, I guess if I actually change the topic, I mean this, wait a second, I haven't seen this particular UAC skin before. Definitely that is something new. I have seen the Dacia skin, but this particular UAZ skin, that was something which was new to me. The anniversary celebration probably, or was it the Fool's? Yes, it was the anniversary celebration. So with that being said, I guess I was actually talking about the BRDM meta and the teams with achievements, and it does really surprise me that teams are still really hopeful that the BRDM will save them, or it will provide them some optimum cover. Definitely the BRDM can provide you the best cover out of all vehicles, but I'm not really sure if teams would actually want to get that particular cover itself. I mean, how it is not even useful at this moment. I mean, how long can you even try and get that particular cover? And meanwhile, as you can see, El Diablo has been taken down. But once again, this particular team, the coordination which they have between their players is just so great, is so eminent, is that every fight they have one or the other knock, but the support sprays are coming in for them, and that is something which is really important. I guess when you talk about a team gameplay, it is not just individual skills for each of the other players. I guess what is really important is the synergy which is lying between the teammates, the bonding which is there, and that is something which Oxygen Esports really capitalizes on. They are just a great team overall, and that is something which has worked for them in the past. That is something which has really gave them that particular name itself, and that is something which is they are capitalizing on. That arm shot didn't really connect. El Diablo, what are you doing, buddy? And meanwhile, Sook has been taken down. But once again, I mean, I was talking about the BRDM meta, and teams haven't really solved that particular issue, and they haven't really understood what that BRDM is for. And I'm not really blaming them. The T1, not just T1 scrims, I guess, even top-notch teams, even LAN elite teams from India itself, even they do not understand BRDM's gameplay, and the BRDM's use hasn't really been perfected by any team. Rather, if you watch Americas, if you watch PMPL Americas, if you watch PMPL C region, whatever region you kind of watch, whatever gameplay you watch, I guess you will always find that BRDM is a very rarely used stuff. And something which I always find is that a lot of teams are really experimenting with their gameplay. A lot of teams in the T1s especially are really experimenting with that particular BRDM stuff, and something which that is exactly the thing which I really don't understand, because why do we even want to experiment something? The BRDM doesn't really work that way, and that was something which we saw just a few moments ago. I guess teams really become very clumsy. BRDM is not invincible, and so are they when they are sitting inside. But right now, this particular fight looks to be very interesting. I guess it is a 3v2v1, and by the looks of it, I guess Team Oxygen Esports will probably kind of get the better of the entire situation up front, because as you can see, this is the last player from Team RD. Once again, this is RD Alok. He is holding this particular sniper tower, one grenade striking accurately. I guess he is down and out. With that being said, another team who is really still going on is Team Delta. Once again, Zango has a lot of kills for him. I mean, he does have 4 kills. And talking about the kills, I guess Team Oxygen Esports will kind of take the better of most of the teams, I guess, who are surviving at least at this point. And meanwhile, this is RD Alok who has got the better of Zango. Zango has been taken down, and RD Alok is really holding on for his team. Will he be able to get that particular second position and carry on with for his team another kill, or will he be taken down before that by El Diablo? El Diablo is slowly proceeding towards Alok once again, and the nades are coming in. That was something which I was talking about. One nade which was which can be accurate will actually get the better of this particular player, and once the zone kicks in, I guess it is all out over for this particular player. With that being said, Delta Scream has been taken down. Alok really came up with that second position. He could not really capitalize on the kills department, but definitely what a beautiful gameplay which we got to see from Oxygen Esports. Something which I really expect from them. They have really capitalized on their team synergy, on the team bonding. Each and every time their players are knocked, the support sprays are coming in. Just beautiful to watch when they actually get engaged in any such 1v1 encounters. Not just 1v1 encounters, I guess whenever a 4v4 encounter comes first, I guess comes front rather. This particular team has always kind of made sure that they get their positioning right, they get their supports coming in right, and they're assaulted. That entry fragger El Diablo, he has been just outright brilliant. I mean, with 6 kills, I mean, you cannot really expect anything much from your anything more rather from your entry fragger. And with that being said, 11 kill chicken dinner, they deserve every bit of it. That shiny golden #1 spot is yours, Team Oxygen Esports. It is for you to enjoy. It is a evening which you will remember, and once again, definitely a great game which we got to see from them as well. Team RD, once again, another team who actually capitalized on a lot of kills. I mean, they do have 11 kills as well. Mazik came up with 5 kills, Kodobi with 1 kill, Senior with 2 kills, Alok with 3 kills. So I guess this particular team has really been consistent over the entire period of the 2 matches. I guess they have been really consistent, not just consistent in the placement department, but also the kills department. They have been really dominant, and carrying on the kills, I guess they got the chicken dinner in the last game. They got the second position in this particular match itself. So you cannot really expect much from a team like this. I guess they are a team and a half. In the last game, they got a 15 kill chicken dinner. In this match, they have a 11 kill second position. I guess Team RD will be the real winner from today's scrims. With that being said, I'm really hoping for better performances, not only from Team Oxygen Esports, but once again, I'm really hoping that Team RD really carries on this particular run of form and kind of carries on their run of demolition once again. They have been just outright brilliant today. With that being said, taking nothing away from Team Delta, Zango came up with 4 kills, Drago X with 1, Scream with 1, so 6 kill third position. Not a bad performance coming in from this team as well. I think that it is not just a bad performance, it has been a very good performance coming in from Delta, but the fact that they just have been overshadowed by the sheer brilliance of Oxygen Esports as well as RD. I couldn't really cover a lot of fights coming in from RD, but the way they kind of survived that onslaught from Team RS, I guess, that was a team and a half, I guess, though at that particular duo, rather, not just a team, I would say a duo, Dead OP and AKD OP, my word, I mean, they have been just so brilliant in this game itself, and I really didn't expect them to kind of get out of that particular scenario. Team RD's Alok will actually be thankful to Oxygen Esports the fact that they actually took out Team RS before actually Team RS could take the better of Team RD, and that was something which was really confusing. I did not really know what was happening. Team Oxygen Esports came from nowhere and kind of took command in that particular fight and got the better of not only Team RS but also I guess they chopped off some of the kills from Team RD as well. But meanwhile, the chicken dinner at the end actually went to Team Oxygen Esports, so that was something which was the one which will actually be the talking point in this match. And apart from that, MYSTIC7 did get that particular 4th position, but no kills to actually register for them. And Team RS, I mean, I do not have any words for this team. The dynamic duo AKD OP and Dead OP, you have been just outright brilliant. 11 kills shared between them and 12 kills overall. I guess they will easily overshadow team number 4 and team number 3 in the overall standings. With that being said, what a fantastic performance coming in from them. Team Revenger, another team who actually has a big name, but definitely not a performance which they could show up once again. God's Eye was another just 1 kill. God's Eye just had 1 kill. Apart from that, none of them actually really chipping in with the in terms of the kills department. They had the BRDM, but they really messed up everything in that particular fight. I really didn't understand what was the strategy. I really didn't understand what was going on in their mind. But once again, whenever a team actually picks up the BRDM, they really get so comfortable. I would say that was the only that is the only word which I can really use to describe the fact that describe what goes on, because whenever you kind of get in a BRDM, you think that you're invincible, you think that the BRDM is not going to explode, you think that no one will actually be able to kind of get the better of you, and you try to kind of drive through each and every team, and that is why you actually go wrong. BRDM is such a slow vehicle that it becomes an easy target, and BRDM is definitely not invincible. And I guess even 1 or 2 sprays from each and every team, I guess an AKM spray, 30 bullets, 2 magazines, I guess it will get the better of BRDM. So definitely not a vehicle which is invincible. Yes, it does have better protection than a usual UAC, but definitely I guess you cannot really trade off that particular speed which you get from an UAZ with that particular BRDM's extra cover. That is not just a trade-off which is valuable, that is not a trade-off which is worth it, and that is something which I would always want to mention. With that being said, I guess Revenger hasn't really been on top form. 1 kill 6th position, they will have to work out their strategies. BRDM is definitely a no at this point, not just in any particular scrims, but definitely not in a tournament. I really don't want any of these teams to kind of mess up in any tournament which they play. Meanwhile, Team Bait, once again, this is a Zord Nemesis with 4 kills. Zambi came up with 2 kills, 6 kills, 7th position for them once again. Team TF couldn't really capitalize, 8th position, 1 kill. Warp was really going strong in the early stages of the game. I do not really know where did they kind of met their demise, but once again, 7 kill, 9th position. They could have done better in terms of the placement department, considering they had a lot of kills, especially, and that was something which I look forward to. And Team Warp has been just brilliant, and that is something which they should have actually carried forward. Team AESPL once again with 1 kill, 10th position, not something which they will be proud of. Bait Ninja with 1 kill, 11th position, nothing really to show off. Once again, the bottom half of the table hasn't really been great. I would actually take my time off to kind of criticize a bit on Team RS 1MS. They could 1MS or IMS. By the looks of it, it looks to be RS IMS. I do not really know what does that mean, but definitely the gameplay hasn't really been on top. I guess they do have 5 kills, but the way they actually suffered against Team RS was definitely not a visual pleasure, I would say. And it was a easy squad wipe. Team RSS, I guess it was Dead OP, it might be AKD OP, I don't know. One player was knocked out, another player was at 10 HP. You had 3 players, buddy. You had to rush in. and definitely they did not do that. The revive was on, the healing was on, they were out of grenades probably because the spamming was stopped completely. They were using smokes. I don't know why were they using smokes, what were they doing lurking in the ground floor. Definitely not a gameplay which I expect from a team at this particular level. But once again, I guess at times your brain does freeze out. At times you really don't want to rush in, and then you do not really know what to do, and that was probably the thing which happened with IMS. And I really want this particular team to make a comeback and really want just prove me wrong. I mean, I really want teams to prove me wrong and kind of make a statement out there. I really hope that their gameplay does the talking after this, and I'll be looking forward to Team RSIMS after this. But once again, if you move on, this is Team FM once again, 14th position, 0 kill. Team 15 EMB with 0 kills as well. Nothing special coming in from the bottom half of the table. Victims of hot drop fights out here. And with that being said, this comes to an end. The second match does come to an end. We are it. I mean, W4RSHOT scrims are over for now. The stream will end very soon, so if you have actually watched our scrim till now, then thanks a lot. If you do like my casting, then please do make sure you kind of hit me up on the live chat or on my Instagram handle. If you do want me to kind of cast your scrims, you can ping up Wizard, or you can ping me up as well. With that being said, this is it for me now. If you do like the scrims, then please make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the stream. And till then, we will be back with more scrims tomorrow. Still, and goodbye, and see you soon.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up days.
and count sheep.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air.